Welcome back to the Gridiron Goons. I'm your host, Brandon. We got the preacher.
What up?
We got Sean O'Mac.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about some football, some stuff that happened last week, stuff coming up this week, whole lot of news, couple injuries. Let's get into this thing, Preach. Start us off.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs missing the rest of the season. What was that? Presumably ACL injury?
ACL. Yeah, that's sad.
It's interesting this year, all the ACL, MCL injuries going on.
It feels like it's every year at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy with that. Then we got to move on. Well, I want to cover the other one next, and then let's move back to Stephon Diggs.
Well, stay on Stephon Diggs
I think we got to move to the next one real quick.
Okay. You have a plan, I can feel.
Jordan Love. He pulled his groin this past week. Malik Willis came back in, finished out the Packer in an overtime win. I'm super excited about that. I think, the thought is Love will play this week against the Lions, but that's that. But let's get back to the Stephon Diggs.
No, I want to stay there for a second.
Oh, okay.
So you said he pulled his groin?
Yeah.
He needs to get in touch with Deshaun Watson. He knows a really good masseuse around that area. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Anyway,
back to Stephon Diggs. I think this is maybe Stephon Diggs' unfortunate demise in his career.
Oh, you think this is going to
I think...
Yeah, I agree.
I think he was treading thin ice already. When you leave Buffalo, especially on a sour note.
Yeah.
We all know how he was rumored in the locker room as a nuisance because he didn't get the ball. Going to a room I don't know why he really went to Houston, but he went to Houston in
Having a solid year.
Right, but
absolutely.
But also in a stacked wide receiver room. The Nico Collins injury helped Stephon Diggs the past couple weeks.
Too much workload now.
But you talking about, him, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, that was a big room already walking into it.
Yeah.
And so I think, unfortunately, this is probably Stephon's kind of, I think it's going to be his demise.
I can
really
understand
think. But what do you, you same boat.
So, what, is Nico out for a couple more weeks? Or a couple more games?
I would assume
How many games
so.
has he missed? 3?
I think he's missed 2.
2?
He was got injured game 3, like that kind of deal.
Yeah, man. Fire Tank Dell.
Dude, Tank Dell's stock just went up even higher, and everyone that just dropped Dalton Schultz got to pick him back up now. So, yeah, I get it. I just dropped him in one of my leagues, so now I got to go pick him back up.
Nico Collins is on track. This was as of 6 days ago. No setbacks. It was the October 6th game. First eligibility would be the November 10th game, so 2 weeks out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So week 10. And that would be against the Detroit Lions. So, I don't know. Week 10 is Detroit, 11 for Houston is Dallas. Week 12 is Tennessee. Week 13 is Jacksonville, and then they have a bye week.
It was probably the last thing CJ needed was lose another wide out.
I mean,
Mixon.
Are we going to say he's in a sophomore slump?
I don't think we can yet.
I think he's in a watch category.
Yeah, he's there.
I think it's unfortunate, but is this really a sophomore slump, or is this what CJ Stroud is going to offer? Moving on out. He had a stellar, rookie season, but we never really got to see him face these injuries that he's facing this year. He really had a flawless, from a sense, a flawless rookie season. Harper.
Mixon had another huge game, man.
Dude, he's going to keep having it, I think. He's found a stride. He's in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could call it a slump.
I think
If you want to get like technical, I don't count bad games for quarterbacks unless they're under 15. Now, don't get me wrong. He said 4 games under 15. But let's get real here. It is his second year. He had a new wide receiver come in to shake things up, so the offense was different. New running back. Everything was new. He had to relearn his offense a little bit, and now everyone's dropping like flies, so he's got to relearn again. And it's like, I don't think it's as bad as what people are making it out to be.
I see him bouncing. I see him turning it around.
I do too. By the end of the season, for sure.
He's way too good.
I will say this, though. We'll get into this more later. But against the Jets defense, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be a comeback game for him or not because Hassan Reddick did. He is going to play, is what I've been trying to say. So it's going to be tough.
Now, you talk about, he's had a couple games this year, 4 games under the 15 mark.
Yeah.
He finished the year last year 11.
Yep.
He half PPR was 11. So I mean, he's tracking 15th right now.
Is it really that bad?
It's not.
I don't think that's bad.
And
If
that's
you
after
really-
a 5-point performance 2 weeks ago.
Well, and if you really look at his 2023 season breakdown, it obviously took him a little bit to get here.
Of course.
But he still had some big boom games and some, I wouldn't say bust games before he got hurt. But he had some games that weren't. He had a QB 13 performance in Week 11 against Arizona last year for 18.34, which you're like, yeah, that should be good. But, I mean, it was still
enough, in my
QB 13. QB 15 in Week 13 against Denver, which was his last full game before he got hurt. And that was 3.64. Or, not 3.64. 16.06. And that was QB 15. So, in those first 6 weeks of the year, he finished QB 22, QB 13, QB 12, QB 10, QB 17, QB 12 in the first 6 weeks before the bye last year. This year, he's 8 in Week 1. Week 2, he was QB 16. Week 3, he was QB 25.
That's bad.
Week 4, he was QB 7. Week 5, he was QB 15. Week 6, he was QB 14. So if you take that same 6-game sample size,
It's not much different.
it's not much
It really is
different.
not.
Now,
Right.
granted, the last 2 weeks, that Week 7, Week 8 was a 29-26. Dud performances.
Yes.
But if we take that same roughly 6-game sample size, we're not seeing a
No.
We're seeing almost the same guy. I think this year they have the Jets, Detroit, Dallas, Tennessee, Jacksonville. Week 14 bye. Playoff-wise for fantasy football, it's Miami, Kansas City, Baltimore, and then if you have a Week 18 championship, it's Tennessee. So,
Ooh.
that playoff push looks a little rough,
Yeah.
in the playoffs. But I think it's too early to say he's...
Yeah, I'm not on
Sophomore
the Stroud to the waiver wire train. If you're trying to throw him out there, I'll pick him up. Not a big deal. He can ride the bench.
I think if you're looking at acquiring CJ Stroud, this could be a buy low situation.
Yes,
right now.
Very.
you can buy him low as shit.
If you want to spend a little bit of capital, I think you could get him from somebody. I think some
the
managers
risk
are,
reward is definitely
Yeah,
there.
Right.
Neighbor kid just put him on the trade block and made a
Again?
game.
Dude, I was sending him trades instantaneously.
right.
I'll take him.
So I mean, there's that with Stephon Diggs, and then the rest of the Texan issues there. Is there any other injuries we want to touch about? Godwin and
He is definitely out for the
definitely
season.
out for a season.
Evans is definitely out until after the bye. So when me and Sean are in Tampa, not this weekend,
Yeah.
but next weekend, he'll be sitting on the sidelines. So
Well,
Someone that won't be is C-Mac.
Yep, I heard
Yeah.
week 10 is what he's aiming for.
That'd be a good return for him. Hopefully that this is the last of the issues with C-Mac this
I'll say
year.
this.
The tendonitis?
Yes. Yes.
I will say this, though. If his first game back is against the Bucks, that's a raw deal. Our run defense is pretty stout.
I
don't care if he's on a pitch count. I'm starting him in fantasy.
Oh.
It was my first round pick.
okay, man.
You got to live and die.
Yeah.
Man. I get it.
I mean, you've been
And
dying all year.
The past 4 games I've had in the Garbage Bowl, he was my first round pick. I've lost my last 4 games by a total of 15 or less. Easily would have been made up by C-Mac points.
More than likely. Use that. More than likely.
Interesting.
It's sad.
Interesting. That's unfortunate.
We just had a speaking about the Garbage Bowl, I'm just gonna do a quick one. We just had a guy drop Puka Nakua
really.
after the game, his 18-point
Why
performance.
would he
Blues
do that?
Clues?
Yeah, Blues Clues dropped his ass like a bad habit.
Why would he do that?
And I am dog shit in the damn Garbage Bowl.
Did you pick him up?
I got the waiver claim in. There's only one guy ahead of me.
Hopefully you get this.
I need it because I just lost Godwin. I need
No,
it.
You need
Oh my god,
another
it's a perfect replacement.
That was definitely a head scratcher when I seen that.
I don't know why you would do that, but
We are going to recap at the end of the season the wild drops that we've seen in the Garbage Bowl because Marvin Harrison's there.
well, isn't that
Puka
somebody?
Nakua's there.
Isn't that somebody who doesn't know how to play?
I wouldn't say that. He said he played for a while, a long time ago. He played last year.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, you know what? Let's get into some news here.
Okay.
We covered the Stephon Diggs Texas kind of issue there. Let's go to Indianapolis.
Woo! I heard about that. I sent it to our group. Anthony Richardson's bum ass sitting on the bench, bro.
I mean,
He went
you're
two
the
for-
face of the franchise. You don't take plays off.
Dude, he was
That
2
bothered me so bad.
2 for 14.
Wait,
I was tired.
Wait, can we take a 10-second break here?
I get
I'm
it.
really tired, guys.
Yeah, I know. I don't fully cannot understand. You know, guys, I was the biggest Anthony Richardson. This guy's dark horse one.
Everybody was.
He's going to be top 3. You're getting him at a crazy value draft in the 7th round. No, you look stupid. Week 1 was amazing.
That's it.
And then it was dog shit.
And now it's get me out, switch me out.
But you know what? Flacco's about to come in there, and it's going to look pretty good.
Wait, Preach, does Flacco still got it?
Look, man.
Wait, what?
Let me put this out here. I locked in on the Anthony Richardson train this year. I got the Anthony Richardson stack.
Yeah. Yeah. I got fucked by that too.
I am so unhappy with that, and unfortunately, it's not like you can really trade Michael Pittman away.
Nope.
Because
he's worth nothing.
Yeah, you just gotta lay with it. But Joe Flacco starting might be the best thing, and you know what? I think this may be a beneficial for the team because what's one thing that Anthony Richardson hasn't had the ability to do?
Throw a ball.
Learn.
Sorry.
Think about okay, yes, throw a ball, but he hasn't been able to learn. He came in last year.
Dude, he's a certified running back.
He played a couple games last year, got hurt, and then he came back this year and started. You got Joe Flacco. Why don't you just throw Joe Flacco out there and you let Anthony Richardson learn from Joe Flacco? And to be
That's
honest,
what we said.
And to be honest with you, if he doesn't want to play, if he wants to pull maybe I don't want to play here anymore because I don't got it. You're not losing that much of a dead cap. Like if you could have this situation as the Colts where you could have Joe Flacco be your quarterback, which Joe Flacco still got it. I mean, we saw it last year. We see it this year. Joe Flacco still got
He
it.
can literally be a starter on 10
Richardson
teams.
just don't want to end up like Luck and have to retire early.
I think
That dude is getting all sorts of fucked up.
I
No,
think
it's
no.
worse than that.
I think he just doesn't play the ball.
That dude doesn't even know how to play football
Yeah.
at this point.
Maybe you just don't want to play there, like you said.
I don't know, man. I figured the Richardson, Jonathan Taylor would look very similar to the Lamar Henry. Not as good, but similar. It's not. I was thinking he's like next Cam Newton type shit. He's not. It's like that man has been overhyped since high school. If you look back, like I did a scouting report reading.
Really?
Dude, from high school, dude was overhyped. Got into college, missed even more games, overhyped. Got into the NFL by playing only like 20 games for 3 seasons or 4 seasons through college. Overhyped.
We should have seen this coming.
Yeah. But no one did because the potential is so there. It's hard to look at a guy that size, the speed he has, the arm that dude, he's got a fucking cannon.
Well,
But he's terrible.
They got Flacco, a seasoned vet. Maybe they should take the fucking Packers road. Let him sit for
Maybe.
a couple years.
I
Maybe.
mean, maybe that's the best thing. You talked about a nice potential.
I did.
Trayvon Diggs, Cowboys drama.
Yeah.
The report you shared to us was that he was
did.
going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like speculatory, like someone made up the
Yeah.
trade, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the works, but all the headline says, it's kind of misleading, says the Dallas Cowboys will trade Trayvon Diggs to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what it says. Word for word, bar for bar.
You see him go off on that reporter after
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
The reporter said, "Oh, you were taking games or plays off."
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't. The whole Dallas team seems like a mess.
Yeah, they're in trouble right now.
They literally can't do nothing.
I will say this though, hold on. CeeDee Lamb finally went nuclear.
Yes, he did.
Finally, 39.6 points. That's got to be toward the top of fantasy points this season in a single game.
Well, you know,
That's got to be up there. He went berserk. 2 touchdowns, 100 yards, like 13 catches or something. Good Lord. Good Lord.
CeeDee Lamb seem to have these moments where they figure it out. He figures it out.
Yes.
And I don't think that's going to be a different. Sorry, I'm trying to find who this lady is that posted the article about the trade, quote unquote, that's happening. But there's a lot of
We forgot about an injury.
what?
Christian Kirk broke his
Oh
collarbone.
yeah, that's right.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Not that we hate the Jaguars or anything.
And T. Higgins.
T. Higgins got hurt too?
Well, he
What
was.
happened to her?
He's day to day. He missed. They called him. He was
I think he had
Hold
a quad injury, right?
yes, quad injury. Day to day.
Damn.
Missed last Sunday's game.
Yeah, dude, Christian Kirk broken collarbone. That might end his season. I doubt it, but it's possible.
No, they said it did already.
Oh, did
He had
it?
surgery.
Oh, okay.
Well, he gone. He gone.
Dude, I've been trying to trade his ass for weeks. No one would take the bait. I didn't
well,
know he was going to get hurt.
No, you definitely ain't taking. Back to the T. Higgins there for a second. Cincinnati Bengals say that he is day to day. So, I mean, it says it doesn't sound like the Bengals consider this a long time issue, but is at least day to day. So, that's kind of that news there. The big one. The Ravens have acquired. Who?
Deontay
Johnson.
What do we think?
I love it.
I'm mad because I'm a Zay Flowers fantasy owner.
I do have to say that he also hated blocking for a rushing team. He went to a team that's a rushing team. So
Yeah.
maybe this is just will be better off because this team's better than the team he's leaving. But
I don't know, man. He wouldn't block on the Steelers. He wouldn't block on the
Right.
damn Panthers.
Right. I mean, so
I get not wanting to block. I get it. You're paid to catch, not block. I understand, but at the
but you
same
gotta
Still
say-
time,
got blocked for
you still gotta block.
you got to play for the team.
Grow up. I don't know, man.
as if Lamar needed another weapon.
Well, I mean, from a wide receiver perspective, he kind of actually did.
You know what?
I mean, it was Zay Flowers' show there. I mean, now at
Bateman
least
was stepping up too.
He was.
right, but now I think you're getting a as par quality of a guy, if not a little bit better.
No doubt.
He's better than Bateman.
But
Not
like-
as good as Flowers.
Right, but I mean, you're getting a better par quality,
Yeah.
and you're going to have opportunity now to play a little bit more into misdirecting to.
I get it.
And week by week, Andrews is getting more involved.
Why isn't he involved from the beginning?
I don't know.
Dude, in tight end day. Let's just talk about that for a
Yeah.
second.
Tight ends went
Holy
crazy.
Shit.
It was awesome.
Holy shit. Kyle Pitts, 25. K. Dotton, 29. Travis Kelce, 24.
It finally showed up.
Good Lord. Like, I get it was tight end day, but they should have let me know they were going to do that. I'd have put out a parlay.
Kittle.
Well,
Well,
he's been doing good all season.
yeah.
He has. He's probably tight end one, ain't he?
He is. Laporta had a big game.
Laporta had a great game. It was crazy.
So
McBride had a huge game.
Did he?
the top 10 this past week: Zach Ertz,
Okay.
14.7; Sam Laporta, 16.8 points this week.
We must be going backwards.
Yep.
I was about to say.
16.8 points from Tucker Kraft. 7th was 17.1 for David Njoku. 6th was Adam. how do you say-
Troutman?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Hold on.
Trout.
Damn!
Trout.
Yeah, Troutman.
Yeah. 18.5 points. Trey McBride, 21.4 in 5th place. George Kittle, 24.8. Travis Kelce with the 25. Kyle Pitts with 25.1. And Cade Otton,
Otton's bum ass.
What?
29.
29.1 points. So, yeah, tight ends finally showed up this week.
Now they'll go back to sleep. That's all the work they needed for the whole season. They're going back to bed.
Well, I don't think there's really much anything else the news-wise.
I mean, what about what?
Oh, wait.
No, what about
Oh, wait.
the Hail Mary
Oh, yeah.
that Tyrese
Oh.
Stevenson's out there like saying "fuck you" to the fans,
Oh, yeah.
and then all of a sudden the Bears fans are pointing like they're throwing the ball.
Oh!
And he's like, "Oh no!" Runs over there, pretends to know what he's doing, and Stevenson, the same guy taunting the crowds, tip right into the receiver's hands. Touchdown. Jaden Daniels wins it. Oh my God. For one, as a Caleb Williams hater, I loved every second of that.
2?
As a Jaden Daniels fanboy, because I said he was going to be in the top 10 in fantasy quarterbacks
You
prior
like
to this
that?
season. I love that too. It was a double whammy of wins for me.
Well, before we get moving on to any other news, let's take a little commercial break, and we'll be right back.
See you right then. Flag on the commercial. Commercial. Oh, it's for our Gridiron Goons t-shirts that we're selling. $20 a piece. We got the GGs on the front and the whole logo on the back. On the front, 2 GGs. We can customize them in any colors you want of your team's colorway. Anyway, back to the show. And another thing. Look, you guys know I hate blaming the refs for things.
What now?
I gotta bring it up.
Come on.
So you're gonna sit here and tell me that Kyle Pitts' second touchdown, where Antoine Winfield Jr. knocked the ball out, they called it a touchdown, but the pylon cameras didn't work? They had no good view where you can see his hand is behind his fucking foot.
Sketchy,
that isn't
bro.
in the end zone. We lost by a fucking touchdown.
You're going to play the
Dude,
mic
I'm
out,
about
man.
to punch the mic right in its stupid stupid ass mesh, dude.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my God, I was so
Whoa.
mad. I've never blamed a ref before in my life. I'm blaming him this time. I'm so fucking angry about it.
Whoa.
Anyway, I had to get that out of my system.
Wow.
I almost did it off camera.
I gotta turn this
They
thing
had
down.
to, they
man.
had to calm me down
Whoa.
because I was about my body temp rose 2.5 degrees at minimum. We're back. You guys seen it though?
I mean,
Yes.
the pylon, but the pylon can did work.
Didn't work.
Didn't
They
work.
couldn't see anything. It was because, here's my theory, it's because it was tight end day. If that would have been a wideout, we would have got it reversed. I am throwing that challenge flag. Throw that bitch for me. Flag?
Can I chime in on the refs too?
Bring it on.
Now, honestly, this was not Sunday. This was Saturday. Now, I know we don't talk about college ball here.
Wait a second, you're changing the whole
Just
tune?
wait. No, just wait. Talking about refs. All right. So, Ainsley, my wife, and I went to the Ohio State-Nebraska game last week. And they messed up a targeting call.
Oh.
Yeah. He, hit him in the shoulder. Now, granted, college rules, a player is defenseless going down from the shoulder up. But he literally didn't, have any targeting at all. Never hit the head. They ejected him in the fourth quarter of the game. He was supposed to be suspended for the first half of the Penn State game. The officials, they rescinded that because Ohio State, basically, challenged it this week at the offices. But yeah, talking about refs, either way, from NFL to the college team this year, they have been absolutely terrible. I've never seen much worse officiating this year outside of the Hail Mary in Seattle when the refs called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The official. We've been bitching about the officials for the last 2-3 years now, including this year. That it's just the worst we've ever seen. And I fully agree. It is some of the worst we've ever seen. It is just god awful. And there's no repercussions for it. There's not.
And it's clear as day. Clear as day, they're blowing calls, not making the right calls. And
If we can find
nothing
this
done.
stat, I'd like to review it on Saturday's episode. But how many holding calls has Bosa got for him? Because that dude is held on every play. Micah Parsons, prior to his injury, was held every single play. TJ Watt is held on a good majority of his plays.
Right.
Max Crosby.
Well,
It's dude, I understand you can't be calling holding every play. It'll be boring. I understand. But, dude, it's third down. They just had a big conversion. Call their ass back. Make them do it again.
I
Don't
think
hold this time.
I think it's when it's egregious. That's the
Dude,
issue.
I watched.
like in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, I mean, and you
fuck,
can
I
even
didn't-
look. I know I don't want to bring that up.
I didn't mean to get
But I mean, even this when the Chiefs played the 49ers, right? There was plenty of times in that one where
Yeah,
Nick
once
Bosa
again.
was just held
That's exactly what I'm
egregiously.
saying. That game, it was
That was terrible.
awful.
But I think this comes to another point with the refs is the NFL refs are not full-time refs. These
Yeah.
people are doing other things, whether they have other jobs during the week or
They
whatever.
should make enough money during these fucking games.
That's what I would imagine that too. But no, they have other jobs, do other shit.
Right. So it's how do you from an NFL perspective create the system with the NFLPA? There needs to be something in the next agreement that has somewhere for full-time NFL refs. Because if there's a protocol in place where if you, a ref, mess up a play, right? The MLB has been doing this with people who call balls and strikes. They have stats on whether they call a ball
Yeah.
or a strike, or if they call a ball, hit a ball that should have been a strike, or the opposite way. The NFL needs to have some stats there's definitely so much with AI nowadays. There's all of these things that they can track. How much calls are you blowing? How many calls are you letting get away? How many calls are you calling that are not calls?
I don't know.
I mean, I think the big thing too with refs is don't let you be bigger than the game. Because we've seen this time and time before
They act like it.
where players, the whole game, we see this a lot of times with pass interference. Like, both sides of the ball, they're playing super physical for 3 out of the 4 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter,
Now they
it's
decide
like,
to throw the
oh,
ball.
now the game's close, and so it matters, so we gotta throw it. And it's like, you haven't called it all game. Don't call it now when it matters.
You know what I want?
What?
I want them to officiate every game like it's the championship game. NFC and AFC championship games are officiated very well in most cases. And
Unless
they let
it's
the
the
players
Chiefs.
get a little physical. They let this happen, but they'll call this and that. And it's like, I like that. That's how they need to be calling every single game. Let the players play. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Well, you know what's also simple? Our redraft league.
Our redraft league.
Our redraft league. Evo, you want to break it down in this redraft league?
You know what? I will do exactly that,
Let's
sir.
go.
So, in this redraft league, I'm reading the weekly report. T-Bone, best team with 173.
Preach.
Crazy Eyes was the worst team with 111. It's actually not bad for the worst team. Players of the week, I'm just going to kind of run past that. We ain't fucking with that. Anyway, most efficient manager was Evo 12 with 134 out of 137 possible points. Missed it by 3.5 points.
Wow.
Least efficient manager was our very own Meth Head Keth.
Keith.
He missed out on 31 points.
Oh.
He got 127. He was able to get 158. Highest points in a loss. I'm so sorry I had to do this to you, Sean. Sean scored 141. I scored 166. Lowest points in a win was Evo 12 with his 134 over Jay Hicks, 127. The biggest blowout was Neighbor Kid over Crazy Eyes. Whooped his ass by 60 points.
Baby.
Oh my
What
God.
the fuck?
The narrowest victory was the same Evo 12 versus Jay Hicks. Overachiever was T-Bone with 41 points over projection. And the underachiever was Crazy Eyes himself with 12 under.
Oof.
Yeah, kind of rough.
Oof.
Just a quick run through of the percentages. T-Bone was 94%. I was 96%. Neighbor Kid was 95%, which that's crazy. 3 90s in a row? Oh my God. Gil with his 86. Shane O'Mac over here with 88. Evo 12 with his 97.5. Jay Hicks with 97.3. We got Meth Head Keth with an 80.6. Preacher Man with 81.3. Crazy Eyes with 88.4. Our standings read as follows. Neighbor Kid is in first with a 6-2 record. T-Bone is in second with a 5-3 record. Gil is in third with a 4-4 record. I'm going to pause for a second. He was 0-4.
Who, Gil?
Gil.
Yeah.
Gil was 0-4, and he changed his name to Owen because it was going to be Owen
Right.
3, Owen 4, Owen 5. And he went on a win
Get
streak.
him good.
He's 4-4 now. Anyway, crazy. I am now in fourth place, finally moving up the ranks with 4-4. Jay Hicks is fifth with 4-4. Crazy Eyes is sixth with 4-4. Evo 12 is seventh with 4-4. And then you got Mud Duck at 3-5. We got Meth Head Keth with 3-5. And Preacher with 3-5. You want to talk about a crazy tight race
Yeah.
between place 3 and 10
Yeah.
is one game away
Oh yeah.
from completely shifting standing.
This week is pivotal.
Yes, it really is.
I think typically in leagues by this point, you usually have players that are they're selling because they know they're terrible and they're not going to make the playoffs. And then there's people that are trying to target those players that aren't going to make the playoff to make that playoff push.
Absolutely.
We don't have that in this league because
No.
it is literally come down to, who is going to win each week, who's playing the matchups correctly. I thought I was going to have a good week this past week against Terry.
T-Bone?
Terry. I was like, okay, Jordan Love's going into Jacksonville. I think he's going to have a really good game.
Let's all think about
I was
that.
like, okay, I think Jaden Reed's going to have a good game because he's going to Jacksonville. Like, this is a matchup proof in heaven. And then Jordan Love hurts himself.
Yeah,
And
he does.
Now, granted, it probably wasn't anything I could have done to win this this week, but I had Baker Mayfield on the bench. I also
Most people did. Let's get real.
Right. I also had David Njoku on the bench, which I should have risked it because it's Jameis Winston. But I was like, man, I feel like I could do this. But then again, I was like, oh no, this happens again. But I talk about how there's obviously teams that are terrible and probably should trade, trade the farm away or trade picks away to get, assets for the future, stuff like, especially in a dynasty league.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about doing that right here, right now on the pod.
What?
Evo.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on a trade, my friend?
In what league?
The Dynasty League.
Wait, Preach, is this live?
Yes, live on the pod right now.
I'm always down for a trade, but aren't you selling your whole team?
Yeah, but I want to buy a certain player.
Wait, what?
I'm selling.
Spit it at me.
I'm selling the farm here. But I want to buy this player right here, right now, because I think this player is going to be pivotal for the future. I think he's going to come to his own, and you hate him and his quarterback. So
I do. If it's the guy I think you're
Roma
talking
Dunze,
about.
I want him. I'm willing to offer you a 2025 second round, and let's go with that.
All right, hold on. I might hate the guy, but a second round's not going to get that done. You're close. Can I say that? You're close.
Are we dancing?
We're definitely dancing.
Okay. Well, you know what?
You're in the dress, not me, though.
Oh, no homo?
But yeah, I thought
Oh, okay.
no Diddy.
No Diddy.
And you know what? Hold on. You know what? Just for the sake of the pod, second round pick for Roma Dunze. Not enough. Next year, third round pick. So a 25 second and a 26 third. Send that bitch and I will accept it live.
Well, look at your phone.
Oh, wow.
Fuck it, we ball. Except, that's a live trade, y'all. That's what we do around this bitch sometimes.
The first time we've done the live trade.
I love that. To be
It's,
honest, we need to do that more often.
That's pretty solid.
Why'd you want to buy Roma Dunze so bad? Because he's got the skill. But, now next year, with Keenan Allen out of there, his usage is going to go up. But Caleb Williams is hot dog shit.
Here's my deal. This is a future. So Dynasty, I play a little bit differently here.
Absolutely.
So I have 4 first-round draft picks in our Dynasty League.
Yeah.
And I have the worst points for. So I have the 1-1 right now.
Presumably with your dog shit
right,
team. You
exactly.
are the 1-1.
I have my quarterback position pretty much acquired. I have Tua. We're not in a super flex league, so we just have one quarterback. So Tua, and I think Bo
We
Nix.
should have did a super
We should,
flex.
but I think Bo Nix is a guy for the future.
He's doing pretty well.
He's doing pretty well. I think he's going to be a solid quarterback.
Yeah, me too.
In this league.
And we had no high hopes for him going into that
Right,
season.
right. We called him Bubble Screen Bo. Like
Yeah.
he only
We
threw
were
to Troy
dog shit
Franklin
on
on the
him.
bubble screen. So, so there's that. I think Tucker Kraft and Green Bay's their tight end one. So I think I have a future with that.
Yeah, but Musgrave could come back next year.
Right,
and
but
retake
I
that.
do feel like Tucker
I'm
Kraft
hearing
is
you.
turning that tide. What I really need help with, the running back and wide receiver position. And so if I can buy somebody while you hate their quarterback this year,
I do.
with Keenan Allen there, if I can buy him just like I did right there, I think I could have a great draft this
You know
upcoming
what?
year.
And you know, it does speed up your rebuild
Yes.
process.
Yeah.
So you know what? I think it was beneficial for both parties because my team is so ungodly stacked. I can wait for next year's draft.
Oh yeah.
I don't need this year's pick.
I mean,
So-
your team is so good.
I just scored 209 points.
Yeah,
Did you?
I did.
that's also because he made some massive trades the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
I did. We went over that.
we did last week's episode.
And
You
CD
should,
finally showed up.
Finally, you guys should go check out last week's episode if you want to hear what my team is and what I had to do to get that team.
Yeah. So
Go check it out.
anything other than well, you know what? Actually, let's cover some stats.
I'd like to.
Quarterback stats. Leader, still Geno Smith
Ugh.
with 2,197
Ow!
yards. Now this is a closer race now. Geno had this lead,
It was a large
lead.
He shit the bed.
Baker closed that 21-89.
Dude, Bake is absolutely ripping. That dude is
Yeah.
100% solidified right now. Top 10.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to start arguing top 5 here pretty fucking soon.
I'm right there with you. Third is Kirk Cousins, 2,106. Fourth is Brock Purdy, 2,101 yards. And Lamar Jackson, 2,099 yards. Now this
that
means
is not a name I thought.
this means that the top 5 are separated by 100 passing yards. or less.
Wow. That's a tight
Josh
race.
Allen's not in there?
Josh Allen is not in there.
He had
Josh
2
Allen
dog shit weeks.
is actually 6, 7, 8, 9, 11th with
What?
1,000.
Wow.
1,766. So,
I would never guess that.
Joe Burrow, 1,993. That's a great year to be born. CJ Stroud, 1,946. Aaron Rodgers, 1,896. Dak Prescott, 1,845.
I'm shocked he's even remotely close.
Top 10 is Trevor Lawrence, 1,835.
Stop!
And
You know-
11th is 1,001.
Let's talk about a name we haven't heard yet. The biggest name in football.
Patty. He's having a bad year.
Terrible year.
12.
Is it
13,
still more
14,
interceptions and touchdowns?
15,
Do we know?
16. 16th. Patty Mahomes.
Dog shit.
We didn't talk about his
16.
new weapon.
Oh, D-Hop? How'd he do last week? I didn't really notice. While you're looking that up, I want to say something about Goff. It is still true that he has more touchdown passes than incompletions. You know that? Jared Goff? That's unbelievable.
Hey.
It's week 8.
Hands down. I can say this with no hesitation. Detroit is the best team in football. If they were to go against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, they would absolutely murder them.
Yeah. The only thing that can stop the refs from beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl is the Zebras.
Yeah, look at
Simple
last
as
year's
that.
Super Bowl.
I didn't mean to get them going again. Oh, dang!
To answer your question there, Patty Mahomes, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Yeah, he's still thrown more
Yep.
INTs and
Yeah.
touchdowns.
I mean,
He didn't throw a single touchdown in the fucking month of October. Are you listening to the words coming out of my mouth? The entirety until the Travis Kelce touchdown last week. But
But yet they're still undefeated.
I can't stand
They
it.
got that chemistry, bro.
I don't get it, dude.
He only did 4 points. They said it was an easing in game. Get him eased into.
Sounds gay.
Yeah.
Got a dub.
Okay.
You know, if we want to talk about this, what front runner for MVP? Typically, obviously, a quarterback
Always.
driven award. Jared Goff.
Yes.
Yep. Jared Goff should be up there. Mayfield should be up there. Lamar should be up there again for the third time.
You know what's crazy? Is
Kirk
Patrick
Cousins.
Mahomes has done so terrible, but you know, because of name and name alone, he'll be in that conversation.
Yeah, it's
Meanwhile, if you really look at the roster, not saying he is the most valuable guy, but Geno Smith has an argument here, right? Like, we don't think Geno Smith when we talk about MVP, but if you look at his roster,
I get it.
he's making the best of his roster.
I'm listening to you. I just hate it.
I know.
I'll be honest.
But, I mean, think about him. We want to talk about Jared Goff. Jared Goff is 12th, 13th, 14th.
Did you guys see during Sunday's game, they had more points on the board than he had passing yards at one point?
No.
He had like 42 passing yards. They had 45 on the board. Like, what?
And I think he sat out most of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Again. Like, he's a terrible fantasy quarterback. But, like...
Is one of the games this week 9:30? Or is that the following week?
I think that's
I don't know.
I think that's.
I just know next weekend we're going to Tampa, boy. I'm so excited.
C-Mac's back.
Maybe.
No.
C-Mac's back
We don't know that.
back again.
He was going to start week 1, too.
C-Mac
And he was
back,
coming back week 3,
He's
right?
back practicing.
back again.
Yeah, he was practicing week 1, too, right? Yes.
He'll be back.
C-Mac's back. Back again.
Come on, man. We're going to get copyright.
Sorry, my bad. Actually, you know who talked about your man Eminem, right?
Dude, yeah, Jameis Winston
Jameis
shouted out
Winston.
M. I was like,
Hey,
oh, shit.
Hey, you know, let's talk about Cleveland here. Jameis Winston has arrived. What do we think? What do we think this means?
No, it's not. What do we think?
Oh.
I told you guys at the beginning of the season, Jameis Winston is that guy. They need to throw him in there as starter. I've said it all season long. I had a parlay with all the overs on him. All of his legs hit, but Jerry Jeudy didn't get a touchdown.
Oh.
Anyway, not to put me in upset moves. Yeah, man, the Browns beat the Ravens. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we're about to run out of time.
Yeah, so let's.
We need to get into
let's
this Thursday game.
I don't really want to get into this because this is a terrible Thursday matchup.
It's not good.
Who's playing?
Houston Texans versus the New York Jets.
It's ass. I'm not gonna lie. That's
Sick of
ass.
watching Rodgers do.
Well,
How
you
many?
both took the Texans.
Yeah,
I took
Yeah.
the Jets.
yeah. It's because you're a Rodgers fanboy. I get it. If I was a Packer fan, I would too. Right?
I can't, like, I don't want to go down with the ship, but I'm going down with
I was
the
gonna
ship.
say that bitch is already
Like,
sank.
You know what? Let's go. If
He's still playing the violin.
that's where I'm at right now, is just watching that.
I get
violin,
it.
Watching them.
And their
show up.
defense have been absolutely fucking me in
Yeah.
fantasy these past couple weeks. About to drop their dumbasses. They have not been the defense I thought they were gonna be.
So, metrics on this one. Texans, 7th best offense, 7th best defense, 7th best passing yards,
Damn.
and 15th in the rushing game.
That'll change this week.
Jets, 18th best offense, 9th best defense, 10th in passing, 30th in the rushing this
Yeah,
year.
Brees Hall hasn't done nothing on the ground.
I want to say that the Jets are going to figure it out. They're playing at home in MetLife on a Thursday night game.
Oh, great. Who's getting hurt?
Well,
Hopefully not Tank Dell. I know it's a little morbid, but like, oh my
there's
god.
only one left.
I'm just. Devontae Adams said the other day, "I'm not here to be a savior." That was his quote. that he gave to the press. And I said, yeah, but you kind of are, though. Right, Harper? You kind of are, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's Garrett
right.
Wilson and Breece Hall here, but, like, you are that missing piece that they need for that offense to run.
Right.
I don't know if Rodgers is targeting him too much, like looking his way too often. They're not clicking. It is not okay.
Unfortunately, it's not okay.
No.
But I'm gonna be the homer here.
I get it.
Rodgers,
I get
say
it.
They're gonna figure it out.
It's
I
hard
mean-
to bet against that man. Let's get real. But I'm betting against that man.
You
Yeah,
are,
Yes.
and I also got to make up some ground here in this pick'em. So
Well, you're going to put yourself farther in the hole. You keep
No,
making
it's okay.
bullshit
It's okay.
picks like
It's
that.
okay. You know what? We'll break down the pick'em in every Sunday and Monday game, and the next episode on Saturday, dropping at 7 a.m. on Spotify, 8 as usual on YouTube. With that being said, I'm Preacher.
Sean O'Mac.
And this is Brandon, and that's us, the Gridiron Goons, at the Gridiron Goon Studios. And always remember, make trades live, because we're like that. This is your week.